Row 1. Text, Notepad window, text editor, editing. Remember, this is not teaching man teacher. Microsoft Candidate UI, pane. It is useful for recalling, when exam coming man student. Just close eyes and listen. Based on G scheme for Electronics Engineering Group. Subject, Audio Video Engineering, 17,537. These are mostly important questions which is always repeat. Form top to end it reduce repeated changes. X question 1 is more important than 2 in notes. And note warning sign that this is not all chapter.
Audio Video Engineering Chapter 2. 1. 4. List the types of drive motors used in TV system. Note, question is wrong. List the types of drive motors used in CD system. ANS, types of driving motors used in CD player, for marks, 1. Tray or loading motor 2. Disc, spindle or turn-able motor 3. Slid, feed or sled motor. D. Explain data detection technique used in CD player with the help of neat sketch. ANS, block diagram of detection or decoding circuit. Explanation, 2 marks. The signal on the disc surface is processed and reproduced within the CD player. During detection, i.e. decoding, the digital data on the disc surface is read by decoding surface, and is converted into the analog audio signal required to drive the speaker, and to regenerate the stored music. Figure above shows the block diagram of data detection technique. In CD player control signals, allow any combination of tracks to be played in any sequence with the help of a keyboard. Also, the display of next is provided to monitor the music being played. Clock signal is obtained from the disc itself. It is compared with a crystal oscillator signal. Any discrepancy results in generation of correction signal, which is applied to the servo system. As it is a very high fidelity system, it is incorporated stereo sound. Stereo signals are multiplexed before modulation of the laser beam. After detection, these signals are demultiplexed to give to separate channels of stereo systems. Scanning of the tracks by laser beam is done from the center proceeding. Audio Video Engineering Chapter 2. 2. Towards the edge. For this purpose the disc is rotated and the laser is moved from the center to the edge. Scanning speed is about 1.2 m/s, total track length is 6 km. This gives playing time of 60 minutes plus about 20 minutes time for error correction. Frequency response of a compact disc is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. During decoding, the digital data on the disc surface is read by the decoding circuit, and is converted into the analog audio signals required to drive the speaker, and to regenerate the stored music. D. State the advantages of fluorescent display system. For MANS. 1. Signal to noise ratio should be better than 50 dB. 2. Frequency response should be flat within plus or minus 1 dB over the frequency range of 30 Hz to 15,000 Hz. 3. Nonlinear distortion should not be more than 1%. 4. The system should possess dynamic range at least 80 dB from whisper to booming music. 5. Stereophonic effect should be provided. 6. Environmental conditions should be such as to eliminate the external noise in listening room. 7. Dolby NR must be provided. 8. The whole audio chain from microphones, pre-amplifiers, power amplifiers, pickups, recording amplifiers, loudspeakers must provide excellent quality. C. Draw the block diagram of CD player and explain its working. For MANS. Audio Video Engineering Chapter 2. 3. CLV. The CD player is also known as CLV or Constant Linear Velocity System. In a CLV device such as the CD player, the rotational speed of disc player is adjusted with movement of reading mechanism on the disc surface. This speed is changed to maintain constant linear velocity, i.e., the signal on the disc surface always moves at constant speed of 1.3 m per second under the pickup head. Half-full memory. This half-full memory circuit makes the disc to maintain a constant linear velocity when the reading mechanism moves from outer tracks of disc to inner tracks or from inner tracks to outer tracks on disc surface. Decoding CD. During the decoding, the digital data on the disc surface is read by the decoding circuit and is converted into the analog and zero signal required to drive the speakers and regenerate the stored music. Optical pickup. The signal stored on the CD surface as pits and flat areas are first picked up by the optical pickup made of lens assembly prism, photodetectors, and laser diodes assembly in the optical pickup unit. High-frequency amplifier. The signal is very weak, so it is amplified by a high-frequency RF amplifier circuit to bring signal to a proper level. This amplified and filtered high-frequency signal contains audio signal, as well as synchronization signal in 14-bit EFM, 8 to 14 modulated format. This signal is sent to an EFM demodulator circuit. EFM demodulator. The EFM modulator separates the modulated data and the timing signal from the signal received at its input. It also removes the additional coupling bits and convert the 14-bit EFM symbol to actual 8-bit data. The amplified and filtered EFM signal from high-frequency amplifier is also given to clock generation circuit to synchronize detecting and timing circuit. These circuits are used to recover the bit clock and sync pattern data. The timing separated by this system is used to provide timing signal to the system. ERCO circuit. Demodulated data from EFM demodulator is sent to error correction, ERCO circuit. The demodulated data signals also send to control and display. Decoding circuit, which recovers the control and display signal received from CD. Interpolation and muting. The ERCO circuit is used for error detection and correction purpose. Any error found in the incoming data signal is sent to interpolation and muting section by the ERCO circuit. The interpolation and muting section uses the following methods to correct error found in data stream read from the disk. Muting last word held linear interpolation. Muting. In muting, when error is detected in the data stream, the player will mute, silence, the sound is not to send speaker. CLV using the clock signal. The ERCO also responsible for maintaining constant linear velocity of CD rotation motor. For this, the TRCO circuit compare the clock. Audio-Video Engineering Chapter 2. 4. Signal derived from the incoming data with reference clock frequency. Interleaving. Signals from the ERCO contains audio signal in the interleaved format. Before doing any further operation on this signal, it must be interleaved. The signal is then deinterleaved in the interpolation and muting section to restore the original sequence of information. Digital filter and demultiplexer. The deinterleaved and regenerated is then sent to digital filter and demultiplexer, where it is filtered and separated into left and right channel data. This circuit removes any effect of sampling frequency from the data signal, which would appear as interference in the form of aliasing noise in analog signal. Oversampling. During digital filtering, oversampling method is used to remove both problems of aliasing noise and quantization error. D/A converter. The output from digital filter and demultiplexer circuit is sent to D/A converters. The right and left channels are processed by different D/A converters. These converters convert the 16-bit digital signal into the original analog audio signal. Because of the oversampling done in the digital filter and demultiplexer circuit, simple low-pass filter is used following the D/A process. C. Draw and explain CD pickup assembly in CD player. ANS diagram 02M. Explanation 02M pickup assembly. The pickup assemble consists of a low-power laser diode to illuminate the CD tracks, lens and prism arrangement to direct the laser beam to the CD surface, and to direct the reflected laser beam towards photodiode array. A photodiode array to obtain data, focus and tracking signal from the reflected laser. Audio-Video Engineering Chapter 2. 5. Beam. Focus and tracking coils to focus the beam to the CD surface, and to move the assembly to proper track across the disc surface. Optical arrangement in a single beam radial tracking pickup assembly. In the optical pickup unit, the laser diode emits laser beam from a small point into an elliptical or conical distribution. This beam is passed through various prism and lens to form a very small diameter light beam on the disc surface at the center of the track. The objective lens is controlled by the tracking and focusing coil to keep the beam focused on the CD and to keep the condensed beam at the center of the track. This laser beam is reflected back by the flat area and the pits on the disc surface. This reflected beam is applied to a group of photodiodes through objectives lens, collimator lens, and some prism arrangement. These photodiodes induce voltage according to the reflected beam falling on it. Focus error and tracking error voltage generated by this photodiode array is applied to the tracking and focusing coil to control the objective lens, and data signal generated by this photodiode array is sent to an amplifier to amplify the data signals picked up from the disc. Finally, the output from the amplifier is processed to produce the audio signal stored on the disc surface. C. State the function of tray motor and slide, feed, motor. ANS, function of each, 2 mks. Tray, carriage, motor. When the open/close switch is pressed, the carriage motor moves the CD tray in and out for loading and unloading the CD. Thus the function of this motor is to push out or inject as well as to push in the CD tray. Feed motor. This motor moves the optical pickup unit from the center to the outer edge of the disc on sliding rods. Some players have pickup motors that travels in a radial or semicircle fashion. This motor keeps an objective lens constantly in line with the center of the optical axis or track. The feed motor may have a fast forward and fast reverse mode operation. The fast forwarding and fast rewinding of the slide motor can be used by switching for smoother accessing. When program search is there, the motor is rotated at high speed. In such high-speed access, the servo signal is cut off, and a large drive voltage is applied to the feed motor, so that the pickup assembly is moved at a high speed. All these functions are controlled by PLL and servo processor according to user. Selection. Audio-Video Engineering Chapter 2. 6. D. Enlist the different types of CD lenses used in CD player. Explain any one. ANS. Type of CD lenses used in CD player 02M collimation lens, concave lens, objective lens, cylindrical lens. Explanation. Any one, 02M. 1. Collimation lens. The collimator lens is used to produce completely parallel beams of laser. This lens together with the objective lens is used to focus the laser beam to the disc surface. 2. Concave lens. In single-beam linear optical block assembly, this concave lens is used to concentrate the laser beam, reflected from the disc surface, onto the photodiode array. This lens is mainly used to improve the sensitivity of the photodiode array. 3. Objective lens. Before hitting the disc surface, the laser beam comes out the pickup assembly through an objective lens. The objective lens is used to focus laser beam onto the CD surface and to receive the reflected laser beam. This lens is moved up/down to achieve the focus of the laser beam on the disc face. The objective lens is always kept in focus using a system similar to the voice is system used the audio speakers. It is also moved horizontally in the linear pickup assembly to keep the laser in proper track. In players that used the radial tracking method, the objective is unit does not move horizontally, laterally. 4. Cylindrical lens, in 3-beam linear optical blocks. The main action of this lens is to enable the reflected beam from the CD to assist in creating the Audio-Video Engineering Chapter 2. 7. Necessary signal to make sure that focus of the laser beam on the playing surface the disc is maintained. As shown in the figure, when the beam is correctly focused, a circular beam of light will land on the 4 photodiode elements. If the beam becomes out of focus, the cylindrical lens will distort the beam elliptically. As shown in the figure, the toward ion depends upon the direction of misfocus. This distortion is known as astigmatism. D. List the different components used in CD player. State their functions. I. Different types of motors used in CD players are tray loading or carriage motor, sled feed motor, and spindle, disc, turntable motor. A. The tray or loading motor moves the CD tray in and out for loading and unloading the CD when the open/close switch is pressed. B. A disc, spindle or turntable motor rotates the CD at a variable speed. The disc motor rotates faster at the beginning and slows down as the laser assembly moves toward the outer edge of the CD. C. The slide, feed or sled motor moves the optical pickup unit from the center to the outer edge of the disc on sliding rods. Some players have a pickup motor that travels in a radial or semicircle fashion. 2. The pickup assemble consists of a low-power laser diode to illuminate the CD tracks, lens and prism arrangement to direct the laser beam to the CD surface, and to direct the reflected laser beam towards photodiode array. A photodiode array to obtain data, focus and tracking signal from the reflected laser beam. Audio-Video Engineering Chapter 2. 8. Focus and tracking coils to focus the beam to the CD surface, and to move the assembly to proper track across the disc surface. Some optical units do not contain the tracking coil, for example, the single-beam radial tracking assembly. This is explained in latter sections. 2. Type of CD lenses used in CD player: collimation lens, concave lens, objective lens, cylindrical lens. 1. Collimation lens. The collimator lens is used to produce completely parallel beams of laser. This lens, together with the objective lens, is used to focus the laser beam to the disc surface. 2. Concave lens. In single-beam linear optical block assembly, this concave lens is used to concentrate the laser beam, reflected from the disc surface, onto the photodiode array. This lens is mainly used to improve the sensitivity of the photodiode array. 3. Objective lens. Before hitting the disc surface, the laser beam comes out the pickup assembly through an objective lens. The objective lens is used to focus laser beam onto the CD surface, and to receive the reflected laser beam. 4. Cylindrical lens. In 3-beam linear optical blocks, the main action of this lens is to enable the reflected beam from the CD to assist in creating the necessary signal to make sure that focus of the laser beam on the playing surface the disc is maintained. I draw the block diagram of transmitter and receiver section of remote control for CD player. For MANS. Audio-Video Engineering Chapter 2. 9. D. Explain the functions of front panel controls of CD player. Diagram, 2M. Explanation, 2M. Play button can be pressed to play all the tracks on the CD placed in the player. Pressing of the play button will start the polying of the CD from the track 1 and continue till the last track is reached. Pause. Pressing of the pause button can be used to suspend the playing operation temporarily. During the pause, the motor keeps on rotating the disc, but the reading mechanism stays at the same place, and the sound output is muted. Stop/clear. When the stop or clear button is pressed, the play stop, the disc stops spinning, and the pickup will return to starting of the disc. This will also clear any program in the memory of the CD player. Program. The CD player can be programmed to play the tracks on the disc at the different order than the normal serial order, by selecting the requires track and pressing the program button. FF/FB or FF/FR. The FF, fast forward, and FR, fast reverse, or FB, fast back, can be used to quickly reverse or forward the playing of current track. Call. This button when pressed will indicate the program numbers that are to be played next. Repeat. This button can be pressed to repeat the play of the CD being currently played. Pressing of this key will also turn the repeat LED on.